David didn't write this psalm from a palace. He wrote it from the fields, on watch, alone, in the dark hours before dawn when the sheep were restless and the sounds of the valley carried. He wrote it from caves, hiding, hunted, eating what he could find. He wrote it from seasons where betrayal came from his own household, where the sword of consequence followed the worst decisions of his life. He wrote it in the middle of everything, not from the other side of it. And from inside all of that, he still wrote, I shall not want. Not I will not want someday. Not I shall not want once I make it out. Present tense, active, in the valley, I shall not want. 963 Hertz is known as the God frequency, the resonance associated with the crown, with connection to what is highest, with the part of you that was made from something that doesn't run out. Tonight we walk the same ground David walked, not to quote his words back at you, but to feel what he felt when he first understood that someone else was carrying what he could not carry. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Come with me into the valley. We are walking a green floor between canyon walls that tower in shadow on both sides. This is the valley of the shadow of death, not metaphor, literal. David knew literal valleys where literal enemies waited, where the terrain blocked the light, where you could not see what was coming. And he kept walking, not because the valley was safe, but because he knew who was with him. You have a valley right now. You know the one. The situation you cannot see the end of. The relationship that broke in a way that still isn't explained. The financial pressure that won't let you sleep past 4 a.m. The thing you've prayed about so many times that the prayer itself feels hollow now, like a word you've repeated until it loses its meaning. That is your valley, and I am not going to ask you to pretend you're not in it. David didn't pretend. That's what makes this psalm credible. He names the valley, the shadow of death, real and close, and then says, I will fear no evil. Not because the evil isn't there, because of what came before that sentence. You are with me. 963 Hertz is moving through the body right now, through the crown, through every place in you that has been braced for more loss, more difficulty, more evidence that the universe is indifferent. That frequency is the reminder that indifference is not the nature of what made you. The light above you in this valley, soft, consistent, moving with you, is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It does not perform. It simply stays. The green of the valley floor beneath you is impossible. This is a valley of shadow, and yet it grows. That is the signature of a shepherd. Provision in the exact location where you thought nothing could grow. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Not rest because everything is solved. Rest because the shepherd knows you need rest more than you know it yourself. He leads me beside the still waters. Not rushing water, still. The anxious soul does not need more movement. It needs still. He restoreth my soul.
He restoreth my soul. Not your reputation, not your bank account, not your relationship status, not your career trajectory, your soul. The part of you that gets tired in a way sleep cannot fix. The part that carries the weight of what you've seen and done and survived. That is what gets restored here. Not the externals first, the interior. Because until the interior is right, the externals mean nothing anyway. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. This is the pivot of the psalm. And notice, he doesn't leave the valley when he stops fearing. He keeps walking through it. Faith is not the removal of the valley, it is the refusal to stop moving inside it. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. This is the warrior verse. Not thou removest my enemies, not thou givest me a table somewhere far from the problem, in their presence. The difficulty is still there, visible, watching, and the shepherd sets a table. Provision in plain sight of the threat. This is the fingerprint of a God who does not hide you from the battle, but feeds you before it. You anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Overflow is the outcome. Not just enough, over. The warrior does not fight for just enough. The warrior fights from the table that has already been set. The cup is already running over. That is the position. Let me speak over you now what David knew from the valley. You shall not want for what you need on this path, not because the path is easy, but because the shepherd is with you. You will walk through your valley, not around it, not forever in it, through it. The word is through. A table has been prepared for you in the presence of the very circumstances that have opposed you. What looks like opposition is actually the occasion for provision. Your cup runs over. You are not fighting from shortage. You are fighting from overflow that has already been prepared. Goodness and mercy are following you. Following, present tense, active, moving with you. Not waiting for you to earn them, following you. You shall dwell. Not visit, not survive until the season passes, dwell. To settle into the awareness that you are held, that the shepherd doesn't quit, that the valley has a floor and the floor is green, that the water is still, and that the table is set, and that your cup is full, and that you are not alone in any of it. That is what David knew in the cave. That is what the warrior knows in the valley. Subscribe to Scripture Reborn, a new parable, psalm, or scripture alive in sound and vision every day. Share this with someone who is walking through something right now and doesn't have words for it. They may need to know their cup is already running over. Support at ourfamilies.pplx.app. Cash App, $OurFamilies321. Community, school.com, Third Eye Warriors. I am warrior. I walk through, not around. Always forward.